Headbutt.
They've estimated that every episode of MST3K contains 700 jokes, sometimes from 700 different sources. Try to follow this.
Made this in shop class. It's a letter opener.
He's wearing hand-thrown pottery.
Those things are $4.50 a piece.
But they're all wearing V-necks. It must be student council from outer space.
It is not for myself that I ask, Mila, but for the welfare of all mankind. Go.
Take a sweater and be back by 10.
You've been gonged.
They seem to know a little bit about everything.
I think we've done our job if one viewer somewhere gets the most obscure joke that we put into one show. But I don't know. I mean, for the kids who are sitting in front of the parents, these jokes are going, and they're hitting the parents right in the foreheads. And the obscure jokes are so much fun because there's a very small percentage of people who get those, but the ones who do say, "My God, they're inside my head. They know me. They know too much about me."
But the cool thing is, a lot of times you'll be thinking the same thing as they're saying. Because, I mean, you know, like, oh, it's William Shatner, you know, you'd be kind of thinking that it looks like William Shatner just as they were saying it.
Some of the lines I don't even understand, and I'll come up with lines that some of the other writers don't understand, and then we'll explain it. Oh, okay, and we usually trust each other, you know. I tend to put in a lot of maybe kind of obscure movie and literary references, and Mike Nelson, the head writer, will put in a lot of Shakespeare.
Well, really, Mother, I think you're making much ado about nothing.
You're not. Hey, I thought Shakespeare wrote that.
Not in the least.
And then one of the other writers will put in sports references, and I don't follow sports.
Hi, Kurt Gowdy here. Join Thong and Phil Harris and me out on the Idaho River fishing for trout.
I mean, everybody just contributes whatever comes into their mind.
Oh no, they've jumped right into a Kurosawa film. Come on, Cro-Magnon.
Neanderthal.
Australopithecus africanus.
Why you?
But shouldn't a man's destiny
Oh, I thought you were going to say something
coincide
else.
with the desires of his heart?
Man's destiny is always predetermined
Oh, he's a
by the
Calvinist.
true desires of his heart.
Kind of makes me wish I'd gone for that doctorate. Anyway, stick around. After a short intermission, we'll analyze this remarkable cultural phenomenon still further.
Anybody else care for one?
I could use some coffee.
Thank
you,
Good idea.
Cream and sugar.
Stay. You stay. Sit. Good dog. Stay. Good dog.
Thoreau wrote articulately about the creative invigoration possible through isolation. But he was by no means the first, nor the only artist to understand its regenerative effect on the imagination. Oh, please, Professor. In my own experience, your fly is open. I digress a little bit. Listen, how did the concept of MST3K find its way to Comedy Central? And who are those people anyway? Thought you'd never ask.
From Minneapolis, Joel Hodgson.
Joel Hudson, age 23, white human, Minneapolis, Minnesota, starting now. I had an act, and I went out to LA to seek my fortune, and got to do these shows, and it was really fun, but I didn't have any other ideas. I didn't want to be a nutty neighbor on a sitcom, and I missed home, and so I decided to come back.
I just pitched him the idea. I said, we have a broadcast facility and some good gear. Do you have any ideas? A week later, he came back with the idea for Mystery Science.
And Joel said, come on over. And I had no idea what it was. And I went over and he said, pick one of those things up. And I picked up this puppet and sat under a table, and we were doing this show.
And then we just started doing them, and we ended up doing about 22 shows, KTMA. And about the 8th show, we were all kind of feeling like, is this really worthwhile? Not much had happened with it. It was a lot of hard work, and it was not exactly producing huge dividends. But about that time we started a phone answering machine, and people could call in and give their response, and the tapes filled up within 2 hours after the shows aired. That sort of crystallized a lot of the momentum about the show, and about, say, 18 or 19 shows was about the time that HBO had decided to start the Comedy Channel, and we put together a 7-minute demonstration tape and sent it out to New York. Exactly 1 year after the show started, we were launched on that Comedy Channel.
I think being in the middle of nowhere kind of helps keep them focused on what they're doing.
So it's kind of got that home sort of feel to it, like you can't see a big studio, you kind of see a garage,
It really shows on the air, and the striking originality. It's just amazingly different from anything that would be turned out here.
In order to write 2 hours of gags, we end up watching the whole movie twice, stopping and starting. It ends up being 2 full days.
Dear Hair Club for Men.
That's good.
Dear Hair Club for Men, I need help big time.
If you happen to ad-lib, it's like a traffic jam.
Don't forget to read them their Carmen Miranda rights.
Look, it's just not that funny.
Very few shows do, take a stand on television themselves, and this one does so, in such an outrageous fashion. That's, why I'm attracted to it as a TV critic.
It's an outlaw show, kind of a maverick show.
I think that's the thing that's cool about it. We just kind of do it our own way, and it's not as a result of market studies, and it's not a result of, we think this will work. We're just doing it our own way, and people who like it are tuning in.
My friends and I get together every Saturday, have a Raging Pancake breakfast, and sit down and watch Mystery Science Theater on Comedy Central.
It's basically an acknowledgement that the audiences are not as dull as Hollywood might think they are.
You can get away with saying a lot of things with a puppet that you can't say with a human.
What about you, Crow?
I want to decide who lives and who dies.
Oh, I don't know.
I have a lot of faith in the group of people that are down here. It's an extraordinarily talented group of people that all have many diverse interests and a lot of things in common.
And that is Mystery Science Theater 3000, insofar as it can be summed up in a single half hour. Of course, like any great work of art, it must be considered not only on its own terms, but also against the context of the culture within which it exists.
Hey,
for instance,
a guy, his robots, and some bad movies. It's that simple. And it's that great. Ow, 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 I'm gonna ow, ow.
Thank you, Senator. Your statement has been duly noted.